Hey, it's Adam with Theros Media. Just want to give you a quick update on our conversion rate optimization, seeing how that's going week over week. So last week I started on the 2nd, and we'll see the 2nd to the 8th, so Saturday to Friday. This is when I did the conversion rate optimization from the e-commerce checklist from Jaka. I did the first 45 pieces in it, so the general checklist. He has the general checklist, a category checklist, a search checklist. He has a product checklist, a cart checklist, and a checkout checklist. So I haven't been through all of them. I've just been through the general checklist, and I had pretty good stuff on there. So the general checklist, you can see that week over week, the conversion rate increased by 67%. So the sessions converted increased by 29%, but that wouldn't attribute this stuff right here. So reach checkout and sessions converted to the checklist just yet, because really the only thing we've done is the general checklist. We made sure the basics are covered, and we've done some things on the product page that he didn't recommend, but I thought they were a good idea. So kind of like the micro animations on the pages. I didn't do micro animations on the collections page or the buttons on the pages. I did them for the product pages, so that helped a little bit with the conversion rate on the product pages. There's other things that I've done from the general checklist on the product pages, which helped increase the conversion rate. Also, we've done a test, so I'll show you the test that we're running right now. In his checklist, he had a test for your buttons, so your add to cart buttons or whatever basically your conversion buttons are. The conversion buttons should have a action and a time frame in there. Check if this is the right system. So this is one of the things I'm doing currently for the page. You can see here that the results have been 0 across the board. So really, people aren't clicking the call or clicking the chat any on our product pages, which is, pretty good, because that means our product pages are actually what they want to see. Add the carts didn't really affect it that much, so need to move three experiment conversions for that, 3 experiment conversions for that, so it didn't really do anything here. So we're going to keep running this for a little bit. It's only been running for 12 days. Like I said, that we've run the experiments for a little, not that long, a little while. Let's see here. All right, so we're going to go back to where we were. Hold on, I'll pause it real quick because Google's having a tough time today. All right, so one of the tests we were running was the add to cart text on one of the product pages. So we're testing it out with one product page, and then we're going to make it happen across the other product pages. So you can see here that we're running an A/B test with 4 different variants on the product page, and the one working right now the best in my mind would be the benefit driven, get my benefit now driven text on the cart page. But most of the experiments except add to cart now are doing better than the original. So put this in my cart now versus get my pH to 0.0 now are definitely doing better than the original. The one that's doing worse is the add to cart now. So what more than likely I'm going to do after this is running for a little bit, so it's been running since the 2nd. So you can see here that we were optimizing it based on his checklist on the 2nd. And this is one of the points on the checklist was, like I said, a verb, so an action item, and then a time frame on your add to cart button. So more than likely, I'm going to roll this. I'm going to test it out one more time with the correct variation of it. So put this on my cart now is more of a direct call to action. Is a variation of add to cart, but then I personally like the verb and then the benefit, get my benefit now on the add to cart button. So there's no really delineation between the two, and I can't see what's working the best right now because we don't have enough traffic for a 4-pronged A/B test. But what I'm going to do is let this run probably for about a month, so until about May, and then come back and do another split test, probably a 3 variation split test between this, the benefit driven one, and another variation. I'm thinking of solve this problem now. So get your pH solved now, or something like that. Kind of more of a benefit driven, but we're solving the main problem they're coming in instead of giving them the benefit. So I want to see if that's better than this currently. I know I probably won't test the add to cart button unless that picks up, tremendously. Hasn't had nearly as, or it's had half the sessions that the other versions have had, but still, it hasn't had half the conversions. So the conversion rate for this is only 10%. So I probably wouldn't test this, but we'll figure out if we have enough data. So where this is going to a specific product page and not all the product pages. So that is more likely the problem here, but we're getting some good feedback from this specific product page. What I probably will do coming up soon is, let's figure out what product this is for. I will probably build a Performance Max campaign just for this one product. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Just because of the product it is. I like the Performance Max campaign to be in the categories, and this, if I can build a category-wide, I could build a category-wide test. So I can just test inside the template that we have, the two different versions, and then that's probably what I'll do. I'll test it for maybe a month of the two different versions of this product. I'll test it inside the template, or I'll just run more tests, so this type of test, on the same version of this product. So that we have 4 different versions of this product, and I'll just run a test on all 4 of them at the same time. So that's probably what I'll do in May. So let's go back to the conversion rate. So last week, it increased by 67%. I would attribute that a little bit to the type of traffic they were running to. So I'm not entirely... So we were running Performance Max campaigns. Performance Max is figuring itself out for the last couple of weeks. And you'll see the traffic, up and down a ton. So let's go to last month overall. Last month overall, the conversion rate to add the cart was 0.5. So that's where we're trying to beat month over month. And you can see here that running a Performance Max campaign, and your traffic goes up and down and up and down and up and down because it's trying to figure out how to convert for you. Originally, in the beginning of the month, it was doing a pretty good job. And then at the end of the month, it tapered off a little bit. End of the month, it converted a little bit and still tapered off at the end of the month for conversions. So you can see here that the traffic that it's sending is not really, so that, we had a 300% increase in traffic last month, but there was a 21% drop in sales. So the traffic doesn't necessarily correlate to the sales very much with Performance Max yet. They're trying to figure itself out, and it's my job to figure it out for us. So I wouldn't worry about the traffic too much. You can send a ton of traffic to your website, but if it doesn't convert, it doesn't convert. So last month we were at 0.5%. Let's see where we're at this month so far. This is the month we are testing our conversion rate versus last month. Let's see. We're still about the same conversion rate month over month, which is good based on the traffic we're getting. So we had 27% decrease in traffic, but our orders are up pretty much so far this month. So that's a good thing. But then we really suffered in conversion rates at the end of the month last month. So let's actually go by date. So let's see here. Let's do week over week. The 5th to the 11th, the conversion rate was 0.6. All right. 12 to 18, the add to cart rate was 0.2. So basically the same amount of traffic, just a big dip in the add to carts. Here we go. Go week. 0.6. 0.2. So 0.2, 0.6, 0.2, 0.6, 0.2. So nothing crazy with the add to cart rate. It's, like I said, it's probably a Performance Max issue. It's just figuring out what type of traffic to send. But we've had the same Performance Max campaigns going for a while now. and we've helped the conversion rate on the website. So I don't expect it to dip lower than, I'd say, 0.4 or so, which is kind of where we're aiming at. So this is when we actually help the conversion rate. I spent the whole Saturday working on a couple of the items on the checklist. So we had a 0.4 conversion rate week over week. 9 to the 15th, we have a 0.8 conversion rate. So same type of traffic. So this is a good sign that's going up month over month versus what it was doing week over week last month. So let's see month to date if we can improve this a little bit. So we're at the average where we are. We were last month. So last month we were at 0.5 for the month, I believe. Let's do last month. Last month we were at 0.5 for the whole month. Let's see where we were the 5th through 15th. We were at 0.6, the 5th to the 15th. So that's what we were comparing ourselves to month to date. So month to date, basically the same amount of traffic. Month to date, basically the same amount of sales. We have a 10% increase in conversions overall, which is a good sign. So that means it's helping a little bit. Lower traffic, which is, more sales, lower traffic. I'd take that all day. And let's see here. But week to week is more promising in my mind. So higher conversion rate this week, 67% week over week, which is great. And then 0.8. So I think of it more like a stock chart. If I can increase the lower range of the add to cart rate, that'd be great for me. So if I can, so you saw week over week in March, it was a very low range to a somewhat decent range. 0.7, 0.2. So I want to increase the lower bounds. I don't want to get to 0.2 ever. I mean, that's pretty much abysmal. Almost nobody that comes to the site is converting. But I want to increase the lower bounds of what the conversion rate is. So I think, yep. So that's definitely happened so far, and that's a great sign. If I can increase the lower bound, it's going to bounce around some week over week, just depending on the type of traffic you're sending to it. But increasing the lower bounds is what we're trying to do. So as of right now, the conversion rate's up 174% week over week, which is great, and that is due to the add to cart rate. Add to cart rate is up 86% week over week, which is awesome. And the sales reflect the online conversion rate basically 1-to-1. So the more conversions you have, the higher your conversion rate, the more sales you can make with, like I said, less traffic or, same amount of traffic, which is great. So the goal is to get this add to cart rate to the upper bound to be 2 and the lower bound to be 1, basically. So lower bound to be 1, upper bound to be 2. I want the average conversion rate over the month to be 2, but that's coming. I plan to do that in the future. As of right now, it's 8 o'clock, so month over month is not a fair, or week over week is not a fair comparison yet because it's not a full day, but it's looking promising so far. It's looking promising so far. So we've had a 2.7 conversion rate so far. Performance Max hasn't thrown the traffic at it yet, so it evens out with the type of traffic you send. Usually in the middle or the end of the day, you'll see Performance Max kick in a little bit, but so far we're doing pretty great. As of right now, 3% down on traffic, but 100% up on conversion rate. So that is a great sign. Anyway, it's been a hopefully short enough update, but I am optimistic that I'm going to go through the rest of the checklist probably within the next week I plan to do it this week, but got a little busy with other client work. So going to happen within the next week. I'm definitely going to set an end date, so we'll have it done by the 22nd. We'll have it done by next Friday, the whole checklist, and then we'll see what's happening. But I think this has been a fair shake, 2nd through the 15th. I think it's been a fair shake, 50% up. Add the carts from when I started it to when 2 weeks before to when I started, so that's great. Yep, so half the traffic, not half the sales, and increased conversion rate. So this is awesome to see just from the checklist. Anywho, Adam, Theros Media. Talk to you soon.